Humankind cannot gain anything without first giving something in return. To obtain something of equal value must be lost. That is alchemy's first law of equivalent exchange. But playing by the rules is a fool's game, no? Fullmetal Alchemist. Oh, it's been some time. FMA is one of those shows that sold a generation of people on anime. I remember watching the first episode of the 2003 series in rapture. It felt so powerful. And for a shonen series, I guess it is. It so easily slides between pure-hearted silliness and cold, dignified sobriety. Even when it stumbles, the series bleeds honesty. In case you don't know, alchemy is a kind of science in the show. More like magic, but go off. Characters use matter and other means to do superhuman things, but instead of going full battle manga with the obvious potential, dramatic scenarios, mysteries, and societal conflicts pull the series forward. But we do games here, and there's lots of games, mostly in Japan. So let's grab what we can and turn it into something good, yeah? You know, behind the scenes, we're sundowning on an era of the K-Bash show today, so I thought I'd go for one last scream before we're out. Fullmetal Alchemist games! Now, if there's something FMA is good at, it's being really serious, sad, and contemplative. Starkly aware of the rabid injustices that plague our lives. Yay! Dream Carnival! Ooh, we did the thing. I love the little touches anime games get. This is the one Japan-only game on offer today, and it's one of the best. Very comparable to Digimon Rumble Arena. I don't care if most of these people suffered intense personal trauma. Let's have a Smash Bros. So yeah, it's a platform fighter with an emphasis on gimmicky trash. No pretensions of competitiveness. We're talking busted mechanics, obnoxious semi-cutaways, broken characters. Sakurai pounds a sad vodka stinger every Saturday night because of this game. It's about what you'd expect, familiar faces and locations, the occasional stage hazard. I think the worst thing about these games is feeling clunky, something that it took Smash till 4, and even Ultimate to finally cure. And it's weird because it seems so obvious. Turning, moving, jumping, fighting, everything feels sluggish, and it's largely the result of your character being locked in place while it finishes lengthy animations. That said, when you're not fighting the Supreme Court for the right to position your character, you're probably doing something like this. Oh, shoot! You know, the game's not great, but you're either hitting someone so hard their teeth fall out, or breaking the game open with the stupid party combat. Look at this! That's the Fuhrer of this fictional place! Get absolutely
Good to see Fuhrer Bradley getting in on the fun.
One of the best things about party games is the utter absurdity of the scenario. Sometimes it's the wild power imbalance at play, like Hercule versus anybody. But here it's about weapons. Edward's a tough kid. He makes his arm a sword. He swings a stick. Armstrong can turn rocks into projectiles and punch really, really hard. Hawkeye's got a gun. Oh my god! He's been shot in the chest! Like, it's all fun in steampunk fantasy till someone draws their Glock and knocks a shot betwixt man tits. We're done with this. Now, the real reason this game is good is Maze Hughes. I never thought I'd see the day where one of the finest father figures in anime is surprisingly top tier. Look at this! You can just pin people down in a team game. Have your partner lay down hits and cover the ground in the sky with projectiles. Look at the AI! It has no idea what to do. This is you! The first time you played a fighter online. And in case you need to flatten someone, his grounded combo is nuclear. Maze Hughes, fun team combat, fan bait, it's decent. They even went the extra mile with alchemy, making whatever you transmute reflective of the surface you used it on. Nice touch. Alright, there's a couple of notable FMA games on handhelds, but let's keep up with the fighting theme. Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood is a 3D arena game, like your Tenkaichis or Boku no Heroes, only really small to fit on a tiny screen. And it's not terrible. It's the only real one of its kind in the franchise, and this specific model of game has value. They're usually packed with characters and stages right out of the series. Just look at this roster. Everyone's here, like Greed. Not Greed. Greed. This particular game has a lot of content to churn through, but not a lot of functionally different or interesting stuff. Relive this story, go through the missions on the map, just a lot of battles. They stapled some light RPG elements onto the thing, like level ups, but maybe consider downloading a save file for your Sony PC edition so you don't spend 40 hours unlocking the same character with a different model. I can hear it already. I love this game, K-Bash, don't be mean. Okay, cool. I really loved 2 Human at one point. You know, we've all been abused. I feel you. But because it's on the PS PSP, it's excessively bland and really squanders the visual appeal these games often rely on. Not that it isn't throwing fans bones, because it's raining wardrobe in here, just I don't care. To find the care, we turn to gameplay, and boy is it slow. You get mix and matchable dial combos, so yes, there exists theoretical depth. Light attack can turn into a sweep or whatever else, but it's not sophisticated. Hit make more hit. There is no wake-up game. I have no idea where the hitboxes are. Please help me. The one thing I really like is the partner gameplay. See, if one guy dies, the match goes on, and a quick tap will bring the fallen friend back. So the matches either go on longer than they should thanks to easy resurrection, or one guy gets mobbed and denied any kind of fun, period. Yo, wait, we gotta check up on our pal Hawkeye. Hey Hawkeye, how's it going?
Jesus Christ! That's a child! You were shooting a child! He was running, you psycho! What are you fucking doing? No!
When does the blood stop? Cut your jugular and find out. Challenge. Now, one of the most nostalgic games in the lot here is the DS title, Dual Sympathies. Unbelievably clever, guys. And it's probably only nostalgic because it's a DS game. Look, I like the 2003 anime as much as anyone probably can. Brotherhood's the more accurate version, and this game follows FMA 2003. It's a licensed 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up on a budget. What more is there to say? Cows. You build up power by punching people. It physically hurts. Even explaining this in a script, like, holy what if the audience was stupid? You use alchemy for stronger attacks and utility, like making a platform to jump over stage hazards. I would have played this on car trips as a kid. Now I'm just kind of bored. Shock of the century here. There are bosses in the game. I swear when it comes to FMA games and Father Cornello, they're always trying to find the funniest way to give this priestly doughboy maximum firepower.
Like, take it down, dude!
I guess I just want more from games these days. Yes, Edward, I'm aware you can combo and crowd control. Can I have a little mechanical mix-up? A little flair? Anything. Actually, you can stop rifle assassins with statues. What is it with these metal cows? Now, the last pair of games here deserve special attention. Square Enix published a few Fullmetal Alchemist action RPGs, though only 2 were released in the West. They take place in mostly original and partially original storylines, respectively. They're not great, but they're kinda cool. The first one's a little unfortunate, I'll be honest. I don't know how you can make something that looks so good, nice cell shading, quality backgrounds, exciting scenario, so boring to play. Ed's combos are weak and the game moves like mud. The sequel is something else entirely. Both games give transmutation points where you can turn a common object into a tide-turning combat tool. For example, Link is in pure shame right now. Gee, Ed, how come your mom lets you have 17 bomb shoes? Actually, interactable objects and alchemical fun are pretty big in these games, which is good. It means they leaned into the fun of, playing games. Comical pinball with people, these stupid little balls. I'm telling you, it starts slow, throwing one at a time out of like 20, but by the end, it's like a primary school apocalypse. So the game flows very predictably from room to room, combat to combat, and every stage ends with a boss. Thankfully, the alchemy points spice things up, but the actual mechanics in the second game are kind of fascinating. Sorry, I'm gonna nerd out here. Your jump totally sucks. It's floaty, it's long. The jump attack doesn't really work great, but the jump button has another purpose, which is to initiate the crouching state that he does right before the jump. Now you can cancel out of the crouching state with a directional input and an attack button together to perform a sweep, a sliding kick. It's kind of crazy. This is the kind of mechanical sophistication usually reserved for fighting and quality action games, not middling anime fare. It makes the game fun to play around with for mechanics heads like me, although the realistic gameplay is frustratingly monotonous, with a lot of quick and choppy combos, improved from the last game, sure, but it's not enough to capture the player for the full playtime. At least you can turbo shell Cornello or whatever. Alchemy's other major purpose is to create weapons to unlock more movesets, and once you get a particular weapon, you can call in at any time. They really made the effort to make the game decent the second time around, and I appreciate that. But it's really wild seeing Ed go from moderately threatening spear to the dumbest, most stereotypical cartoon sword imaginable. Oh, it's katanas as well. I see you. These games have cutscenes too. Nothing special, but FMA always gets a little more mature than you'd expect for a shonen. Ooh, you killed him, dude! To be fair, they take as much dialogue from the English dub as humanly possible, creating new stuff where necessary, but I forgot how swingy the show can feel. I'm serious, I love the moody vibe of the 2003 anime. It's really dark and low-key a lot of the time, but it only takes one full-cast gag to tank the whole thing. I like this one scene after a serial killer attack. Okay, a serial killer attack And Maze Hughes, loving father extraordinaire, goes, "Oh hey Ed, I think you're trying to date my literal child daughter." Then the Colonel's like, "Yes, and I will light him on fire and burn the flesh from his bones." And then his brother, who he loves and owes an immense emotional debt to, is like, "Damn Ed, I always knew you were a pedophile."
What is happening? This is the military? Why are we insinuating that a 14-year-old is a pedophile with no basis? That isn't jokes!
No matter how interesting these games try to be, they're still too basic to really be called exciting. I said it was called an action RPG, right? Because you can assign a stat point and heal by pausing and selecting the healing item mid-combat, like Dragon's Dogma. So at the end of the day, you're left with the convulsing mood of gamified Fullmetal Alchemist to entertain you. Like after the serial killer attack, the brothers are just annihilated, completely dunked on, so they go to get repairs. Unfortunately, the military had them accompanied by the biggest, dumbest ape possible, and of course, after facing intense trauma and bodily harm, goes, "Okay, all healed up? Let's fight. I am a fully grown adult, and you are 14. Wait, what?
Stop pummeling him! He's a child! He's been through things!
Hey, it's K-Bash. Special thanks goes out to my $4 patrons, whose names are on the screen. The show's on its way somewhere good thanks to the community's generosity. And special thanks goes out to my extra generous patrons, who are 1307, Azero, BZ Soul, Beverage Crisp, Boha, Brandon, Brandon Harden, Caesar T, Chief, Chris A, Cody Golden, Corgi the Lad, Couch MOBA, Crack Stuntman, CW Glassworks, Dakota Storm Jones, Damaged YouTube Analytics, David Castillo, Den Het, Don't Worry About It, Dylan Coffey, Editorial Entertainment, Exa, Frankenstitch, Guard Corey, Gucci Plant, Harkaj, Huey, Jason Lasky, Jaden, J-Daz, John Weber, Joke Frog, Justin Sherry, Kelvin, Creighton, Latrix, Laundry Mom, Lego Sid, Liam, Lucas Phoenix, Marcules, Marmato, Maximilian Wolfgang Niver, Milky Moo Official, Mr. Dodongo, Miles Burris, Ol Burgle, Only LK, Pink Peacock, Quillworth, Reggie Rodriguez, Ricochet Frame, Siren Smells Good, Salty Smasher, Sekai no Awarida, Seamus Nerd, Shod, Simp God, Special Children, Spooky Grimalkin, Sublime Cataclysm, Super Sandwich Guy, Tenken Zephyrborn, TFY Lex, Thrips Heartdrop, Travis Edwards, V01156, Venom, Viewers Like You, Vic, Walter Taggart, Waposa, Well Shit, Zachary V, Zanaso, Zane the Impure, Zane the Pure, Zed Slayer Gamer. If you'd like to help support the show and make it even better, check out my Patreon. We've got all kinds of goals and lots of rewards in store. Stay tuned for more. K-Bash out.